Hello, everybody. And today we're going to be talking about all the theatre shows that are coming to the UAE this summer.
My experience attending a little hyped Taylor Swift concert this summer.
And one of the world's most famous singers, Elissa, celebrating her 25 years in the business.
In the business, this is Culture Bites coming to you from the National News. I'm Enas Refaei.
I'm Farah Andrews.
And I'm Maan, Jalal.
And she's back.
Hi. We're back together, all three of us.
It's been a hot minute. Well, not a hot minute. It's been a few weeks.
It has been a few weeks.
A few hot weeks in the UAE.
Yeah, the temperatures are rising. But you had a little bit of respite.
I had a little break.
Where were you, Farah?
I went away. I left the UAE for a few weeks. I was in the US and Canada and Scotland.
Colder climates.
What a trio of destinations.
3 countries.
I did
3 countries in 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Wow, okay.
I'd never been to Canada before, but I'd been to, obviously, Scotland and I'd been to the US before,
And how were they? What were the highlights of the trip?
1 highlight per trip, per country.
Nice.
Look at him, concise. He's like, don't talk. This isn't Farah's travel log.
This is a list.
The US was very nice, very low key. Highlight probably going to a cabin in the woods on a farm in Virginia and not seeing anybody for like 3 days. That was wonderful.
It was stunning. I saw your photos and I messaged you. I'm like, this is giving Gilmore Girl vibes.
It was giving Gilmore
Girl.
Girls.
So Stars Hollow.
Just no one around anywhere.
See, now, that's creepy.
No, it wasn't creepy.
No?
It was lovely.
Okay.
There were loads of cows. I was on a mission to befriend them. They were not so sure about befriending me. Highlight from Canada was Niagara Falls. Going to Niagara Falls. Went to a town that was even more Gilmore Girls-y. I'll show you photos after this. It's called Niagara on the Lake. And we went to some vineyards. That was a nice day out. And Scotland. Oh, what was the highlight in Scotland?
I wonder.
I should say my friend's wedding.
If she's listening, definitely my
Steph,
friend's wedding.
It was 100% your wedding. Also, Taylor Swift's. Not wedding, but Taylor Swift's big day out.
Big concert. So while you were there, I remember like all the pictures dropping online and me just being like, oh my God, Farah's there.
So yeah, I went to the Eras tour. I am one of the literal millions of people that have done it. I was at the first night in Edinburgh, Murrayfield. It was phenomenal. It's the first night of her like UK leg of the tour. And it was 73,000 people in the stadium. That is the biggest concert in Scottish history.
Really?
And she did it for 3 nights.
And she did it. So it was 73,000 people for the 3 nights?
No, every night.
Oh my God, that's good. And you were one of those 73,000 people?
I was one of 73,000.
Was it outdoors?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Even with 73,000 people packed.
So here's some tidbits from the concert. Because this is like, I'm going to be concise. We don't need just to be the Farah/Taylor show, which is a collaboration that should happen in the future. Was it cold? Yes. It was freezing. It was genuinely cold. And so there's like a part of every, like, so the Eras tour, let's start from the beginning. Like each album is an era and it's like all different like staging and setting.
That's why it's called the Eras tour.
And it's the Eras tour. It's all of her eras. So she literally goes back to the very beginning. And there's like a part of the show every night where she comes out and she does some surprise songs, one on the guitar, one on the piano. And that's always, they can be from any of the eras. And the set before that is her newest era, Torture Poets Department, right? And so on my night, she just did the show. Great. Then for her surprise songs, she was playing guitar and she got cramp in her hand because of the cold. Genuinely. Whoa. And she was like, this has never happened to me before. And every other night that she's played in the UK, she's worn just very normal black gloves for Torture Poets because it's like, let's keep those little hands warm so they don't cramp up on guitar. Wow. It was genuinely freezing. You could see her, it's not a very nice chat, but you could see her like nose running when she was on stage.
Bless.
And there's like another part where she gets given a jacket during one of the songs and then it gets taken away for her to like perform in a leotard, and she's like goes to her dancer. She's like, I want to keep it.
Bless her.
How close were you to the stage?
Not that close. I was in the seating, but I was like basically smack bang in the middle of the back. So it was a really good view because I had just like full straight on. Amazing.
Did she do that thing I've seen her do in lots of concerts where she takes her hat off and gives it to somebody in the audience?
So that happens every night during 22. It's a 22 hat. That's when she's wearing her T-shirt that has like a different slogan on each night. People are very involved in the costumes. Everyone like predicts what she's going to wear. There's a lot of like high investment in this show.
There is a lot. And she wore tartan for her Scottish show?
No.
Why did I hear that somewhere?
I wish she had.
I
The
thought
world
that
would have, Scotland would have. There was like a lot of like just like nice nods to Scotland, like in the blue. There was a lot of blue all night.
Maybe it was just the blue.
And maybe someone on stage was wearing tartan, but I don't think she did wear tartan.
There's a girl on Instagram who she's partly deaf, and I don't know if you've seen her videos, but she always gets celebrity videos on the red carpet or in concert, and she lip reads and tells you what they say.
Okay.
She did a whole montage of Taylor Swift when she gives the hat to one of the audience members.
I need to spend some time watching that today.
It's really lovely. It's very sweet how she interacts with them, actually.
I mean, I'm obviously a big fan, but I do think she just has like a nice way, and she like genuinely likes meeting fans, and seeing other little things from this particular concert. Scotland gets dark very, very late in the summer. So usually these concerts have pretty much all been outdoors, but usually about halfway through it's getting dark. So the second half of the concert is at night. But in Scotland it was sunny for like the whole thing. It was light until the end. And so she was like, there are like things that I've never seen before that are happening in the audience right now, because usually it's dark. So she saw a couple get engaged during one of the songs.
Look at us.
So
We're
cute.
such old romantics.
And it wasn't even like a cliche. I think it was during Willow. It wasn't a cliche like
Song.
it wasn't like during Love Story when everyone thinks that you should get engaged. And the other thing that was quite fun is that the dancing was so vigorous during these concerts is that they registered as an earthquake 4 miles away.
What?
That's
Wait.
nuts.
So the dancing at the Taylor Swift concert
That I was
caused an actual earthquake.
Registered as an earthquake.
Swifties
four
are
miles
creating
away.
earthquakes, are quaking, literally.
The
Swifties are
British
quaking.
Geological Society said that they registered like seismic movement during Cruel Summer. What? Shake It Off. And then randomly champagne problems. But that's like a bit of a downer, that song. So I don't know what everyone was doing then. But yeah, she shook my world, but she shook everyone's world.
Oh,
She literally shook the world.
She did.
The earth quaked.
that's amazing. So she's doing it. She's still in London. I
Oh,
think,
she
at the
is.
moment?
It's
And
never. It's never ending. Oh, we're back together.
Yes, now.
I like this.
So she is doing 8 nights total in London. She has done the first 3, and she's now going to Dublin, and she's got 5 nights in Wembley in August. Each night in Wembley is 90,000 people. She is going to perform for 750,000 people in London. 750,000 people are going to go see Taylor Swift in London.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I'd love to do the maths as well on how much each ticket is.
Oh, I mean, they're
Amazing.
Not cheap. They aren't cheap.
What a legend.
This is your second Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I saw her
concert.
in 2015.
How does it compare?
I think like in 2015, she was not quite the phenomenon she is now. She was just touring 1989. It wasn't like a trip back memory lane, like
A retrospective.
it was not a
mid-career.
retrospective. I think it was phenomenal. That was the tour when she brought all her friends out on stage each night.
Yes.
I got Serena Williams and Gigi Hadid and Cara Delevingne.
Oh, that's a good mix.
Mega.
Yeah.
Wow.
What? There was definitely more people but she, like, her famous friends have always very much been a part of her tours, right?
Just cash.
I've heard that she's bringing Travis. She brought Travis Kelce out to do a bit or something.
Guys, it was big.
Did she do
is
that in
that what-
Scotland as well?
No. Oh, okay.
A girl can dream. So yeah, her boyfriend is this American football player called Travis Kelce, and he was at each of the London nights. And on the third London night, there's like a part where she has like this kind of like almost like kind of like silent talkies era film dance kind of set, and it's for the prep for I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and they're kind of like getting her to like basically go and be a puppet and do the performance. And then, yeah, he came and was one of the people that were like hyping her up and like doing the makeup, and he picked her up and put her on. It was wonderful for the community that I am a member of. It was very, very significant.
It's not cringe at all then that her
No, it wasn't.
boyfriends.
I didn't find it cringe, and I've got quite a low cringe tolerance, as you well know. I can't handle any cringe.
Cringe.
Apart from my own cringe, which I'm like completely unself-aware of. But no, I didn't find it cringe. I absolutely loved it.
I
Did
mean,
you-
the photos look great.
Did you find the David Grohl thing cringe? Have you heard about this? David Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
I mean, like I just think like the overlap of like Foo Fighters fans and Taylor Swift fans, there isn't going to be a huge overlap here.
No.
And I think it was weird because he said that her band don't perform live. It's kind of like, what a weird low blow to make about like a guitarist on the Eras tour.
And not only that, like, it's kind of beneath you to be like, it just shows, are you intimidated by this? Like, I was just like, oh, this.
It's just a fun pop.
His joke was quite funny. He called his tour the Eras tour because they perform live. Like that's like a good line in there. He obviously thought the joke and then was like, "Hey, I'm going to run with it because that's a good joke." But and then Taylor was like, the next night she was like, "This band performs live for 3.5 hours." Yeah.
And also, I saw Cyndi Lauper recently was on the Good Morning show in the UK, and she was talking about how much she loves Taylor Swift and how she's so proud of her and how she's like a talented songwriter. And I was like, I love that. Like at one point, you have David Grohl, who's an icon, saying silly things, and then you have Cyndi Lauper, who is a real icon, saying wonderful things.
And we had like Paul McCartney literally out dancing with the crowds on the third night in Wembley. Literally, he left the VIP tent and was just out there dancing with the crowds.
And look, even Prince William's been there.
He was shaking.
Oh yeah, they got.
Have you watched the video of him dancing?
So, for those of you who haven't seen, there's a video of Prince William shaking it off.
I haven't seen it,
and it is definitely worth a little Google because it's
Google and a giggle.
Dad dancing at its finest.
Because Bradley Cooper has been caught dancing to like the same bit, and it was kind of like it's obviously just how men of a certain age dance to shake it off.
Someone should do a montage of all these dads dancing to that bit.
I'm sure there's so many girls' daughters, girl dads in cars that have
heard that song,
and have shaken it off driving the car around.
Hugh Grant was there as well, and he tweeted her, Sorry, I don't know how we didn't start with this.
Please, you should have led with this. You don't hear my audible gasp.
He tweeted her saying how much fun he had with her very tall boyfriend, and it was like one very happy Taylor Swift fan, his wife and 8-year-old daughter. Yeah. And then Taylor Swift responded being like, "I'm sorry, but this is a very big cultural moment for me."
For all of us. That is very cool.
Everybody gasped.
Everybody. Like, I mean, the VIP tents in London were absurd. It was like Greta Gerwig, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Salma Hayek, like very big names were watching this show and having.
But they didn't invite us. What a shame.
Yeah, I mean,
what a shame.
I had to get myself there.
So from concerts over to things to do in the UAE this summer. There's a lot of theatre shows that are coming out.
Yes.
Broadway
is coming to town.
All that jazz, razzle dazzle.
Yeah, exactly.
This is thematic. Taylor Swift certainly had razzle dazzle.
Yeah, all the international shows that are coming, they're great, right? Because they're in air conditioning, which I'm in need of.
They're indoors.
To be honest, I didn't want to be rude, but I'm in need of it now. It's warm in this room.
Yeah, it is very warm.
We could turn the fan on, but
it'll be
noisy.
Like
the producers will be
get
quite
in trouble.
angry. They're all nodding at us. So yeah, we are doing this. This is why we're not showing what we look like.
Yeah, this is a warm day.
It's a warm day.
But there is a lot coming to theatres in the next few months.
I wonder, from these, there are more than 5. How many have you seen? So I'm gonna call them out.
Names.
Yeah. So the first one that's coming is in the Courtyard Playhouse, which are doing these very cool screenings of pre-recorded live performances of plays in the UK. You've been to one, haven't you, Farah?
Yes.
For Hamlet?
I've been to a few.
Oh.
At the Courtyard. So it's the National Theatre, the NT Live kind of. So it's like a cinema experience, but of a theatre show.
Yeah.
So it's much, much, much more affordable as well. So you aren't paying the kind of like 300 dirham ticket, which is like a bit,
which is quite steep,
theatre standard. And then
they have 2 of those. The first one is Dear England, and I'm not like, this might shock you guys, but I'm not really a football fan. But this
my time to gasp.
Yeah. But this play sounds really interesting. It's called Dear England, and it's about the football coach whose name is
Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, I was going to say David. Okay, what's his name?
Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
he's the current.
He's a big deal. I know he's like
manager.
He's a big deal in the UK.
Sure. Current manager.
And it's a play about him and dealing with or figuring out masculinity in football through the England team. It's like a fictionalized account with him being a real person in it.
Yeah.
So it's a new play that I think it came out last year. So that's going to be showing in July. And then in August, there's Fleabag.
I have seen Fleabag.
I have too. It's great.
On the stage.
Oh, not on the stage.
The show.
As a screening.
I've seen I've seen the screening of the performance
gotcha.
and obviously the TV series. Yeah. But screening the performance, it's very different to the TV shows. A one-woman show that started as an Edinburgh show.
It's more of a monologue.
Yeah.
It's more of a monologue of her describing her life. But I would say that it's actually, I saw it as one of these, I saw it actually on, can I say YouTube?
Yeah.
I can say YouTube, right? But like they have these screenings, and when COVID was happening, there were a lot more of these kind of screenings that the theatre groups would put on. And it was a way of like kind of like being in touch with theatre. And sometimes you could leave a donation, which I did for my local theatre group. I left a donation, and then me and the children sat down and watched like a children's play together.
I was gonna say, not Fleabag with the
Not
children.
Fleabag. Do not watch Fleabag with your children. There's
Not
some
one for the
very
children.
adult reference, isn't it? But it's not okay. I would say that it's actually a really good way to experience theatre if you can't see those plays or you can't get to those theatres, because actually you still get this immersive experience. You still get the kind of same sounds and the same kind of ad hoc behaviour you'd get in a play, which I think is what makes theatre so special.
Yeah.
So that's really, so go and see it. Fleabag, 17th of August.
And then in September, Chicago.
This will come as no surprise, but I've seen Chicago
No.
You've not seen it?
multiple
I haven't
times.
seen
Oh,
it,
I've
no.
seen Chicago, the show and the film.
Okay, I haven't.
Would
Sell
you
it to
want
me.
to come and see the Razzle Dazzle September the 12th to the 22nd? I'll go. It's literally across the road from our office. I'll go back.
Okay, let's go.
It's a great show, by the way.
Roxy Hart.
Yeah. It's a really
So you
because you're
guys-
not a big fan of.
I'm not
I
a big fan of
remembered, yes.
musicals, but
But you are a big fan of this accent, which is what the whole show is.
to be fair, if it's going to be that accent over and over again, maybe I will go. Yeah, maybe
And
I
all
will
that
go.
jazz.
Chicago. Okay, take
Exactly.
me to Chicago.
Sold. Done. I know how to sell things to you.
Yeah, you actually do.
You do, yeah, you
actually
do, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to see Chicago, and that's September the 12th to the 22nd at the Etihad Arena.
Yeah, very near.
Yeah,
and
very
then
close. I mean, you should introduce this one.
I haven't got. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Aida.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually pronounced Aida, which is a opera. It's set on the banks of the Nile.
But hang on, for our readers.
Why
readers
is that
and
important?
listeners.
So my daughter's name is Aida.
Oh.
So I named her Aida, but I didn't spell it like that. I spelled it like the English way. It's very complicated. Having dual citizen children and like dual nationality
Wait,
children.
how do you spell Aida?
I spell Aida, A-D-A. So we do spell it the English way.
Okay.
So I have one daughter, Dahlia, and I have Aida. And with Dahlia, we spell it the Arabic way, and Aida, we spell it the English way.
But
That's like a good
Yeah.
reflection.
That's a good reflection, right? But there's no Ain.
Yeah.
There's no Ain.
But
in-
Aida, ADA, that's so cool. That's
Yeah.
like, what's that? What
It's
is
a
it called?
palindrome.
Yeah, like Hannah.
palindrome.
Yeah.
It also gives old school glamour.
It does give old school glamour.
100%.
But yeah, this is the Dubai Opera House, and it's a bit of an epic.
It is, yeah.
So I think it's one of those ones that just comes out all the time, but it's one of those ones that touches people in the heart.
That's coming in September.
And then the next one is a darker,
Ooh,
mysterious. And have you seen this? So this is Woman in Black.
You've seen the play or the film?
the play.
Oh.
So I genuinely don't like horror. I don't like scary things.
I'm really
but I
impressed
saw
by
this in the theatre when I was.
Wait, you, the criminal podcast obsessed?
So I like true crime, not fake crime.
Big difference, man.
Also, man, that's crime. That's not horror. So
Please know your subgenres and your genres.
yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I don't like actually seeing the death happen, and I also don't like the kind of like atmospheric creepiness, which is exactly what Women in Black is the most atmospheric and creepy thing.
It
I
is.
might go and see that because
By the way,
I want to
it's-
feel something.
It's suitable for kids over 10 because there's no blood or gore. It's just, as you said, there's a lot of like creepy atmospheric stuff happening.
Yeah, I'm not taking my kids to this.
They aren't over 10.
No. Oh yeah, they're not over 10. But also like my children are absolutely terrified of like
We don't
room.
need. Let's not start the nightmares. Let's not start the nightmares. I also would not like to go back. I didn't. It was manageable. The scariness
and this one's at the Zabeel Theatre.
in Dubai.
I've not
yeah.
been to that theater. Have you? Actually, no.
Yeah, I have.
Did they have music hall there?
Yeah,
Yes, I have been there. It's a nice theater.
maybe not the exact same space, but I once weirdly saw the only episode I've ever watched of Keeping Up with the Kardashians all the way through was a screening there for like a season premiere. That's so this
That's
job.
a way to watch the Kardashians in a theater.
And I've never watched another episode since. And won't ever.
So you're not a Kardashian fan?
Mm-mm.
Are you, man?
I was an observer. I was interested in them as a cultural phenomenon, but as individual people, no, I'm not a fan.
It's not my genre of reality TV, and I've like written about them a lot, obviously, but
doing what you do,
doing what I do.
Yeah, I'm like I agree with you, man. I think it's a bit more of a cultural phenomenon. Like I'm kind of intrigued by how you can make yourself into such a commodity and a brand, but I don't know if I'm like looking to them for style inspo.
No, I blocked them, by the way.
Oh my God, I did too.
I blocked them, and my newsfeed is grateful. It's better for it, actually.
That's probably a healthier way to live. Do you want? In general, this is probably a big can of worms that we don't want to open. But reality TV, are you a fan?
Love.
Yes.
I really love that. I just love I love humans, and watching them pretend that no one's watching them is fascinating.
It is.
We've got one last play though to mention, which is Life of Pi.
Yeah.
Which looks amazing. I'm not sure if you guys saw the trailer for it. Have you guys seen the film?
I've seen the film and I've read the book, but I've never seen the stage show.
I've read the book.
I read the book and I
haven't
saw
seen
the film. Oh, okay. You should watch the film, and then because it's about this young man who's stuck on a boat with a tiger, and I can't remember the other two animals. An elephant? No, it can't be an elephant.
An elephant would
It's mainly the tiger.
Mainly the tiger. So
I want to say hyena, but
there is a hyena, and then there's like a more good animal.
But this is all based on a book, a very, very famous book.
Jan Martel, I think, is the author. I think it was not shortlisted for the Man Booker of the Year. But what's cool about the play, it's a lot of Cirque du Soleil kind of, I don't even know if I've said it right, Cirque du Soleil vibes. Huh?
Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
That's the one.
That's
man.
the one.
Just
Yeah.
move forward.
It's like that scene in Friends.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of puppetry, and it looks really amazing because he's on a boat. The whole thing's on him on a little boat with these animals, and it looks really interesting.
I loved the book. I found the book really intriguing.
It was a bit dense, but the film was good.
Yeah. I don't think we can talk too much about it because if you haven't read the book or seen the film, then you...
I don't want this to go into spoiler territory.
Yeah, we're going to spoiler territory, but that's going to be playing from the 15th of November until the 17th at the Etihad Arena.
It's definitely a date for the diary further away, but it's an exciting one.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Speaking about another musical icon.
Oh, it's
but
like
take
regional.
us on a journey.
Yes, I'm sure everyone here has heard of Elissa.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the top line you should know about her is that her music is a vibe. She's a vibe. Her music is a vibe. She's really interesting. She's been around since the late 90s. But I'm going to give you guys some really interesting facts about her that you might not know.
So she,
But why are we talking about her now, man?
Oh, of course. It's her it's her 25-year anniversary of her career. So she started in the late 90s.
1999, if the math
Yes, if the math is mathing, then 1999. So she's celebrating her 25 years, and it's really an incredible career for not only a singer, but for particularly an Arab singer. So she first gained popularity with her hit single in the 1990s, Aishalak, which means living for you. And what's cool about her music is that it combines kind of like traditional Arabic sounds, but with like an electro beat, but it's still romantic. It's like it's a good summer song that's very accessible to lots of people. So she was born in Lebanon. Her father was a poet, Lebanese poet. Her mother was Syrian. And she has 3 brothers, 3 sisters. And when she went to boarding school, a nun called Sister Samira was like, "You've got talent, kid." And kind of like...
Was she an extra in Chicago?
Hey, did the nun do that? Hey,
well,
you've got talent.
yeah. And then she fixed her little thing. What do you call it? The nuns that they...
Habit.
Yeah.
That's unprecedented knowledge from me because I just...
And then she started professionally singing and acting at 16, and she had 2 studio albums before her major hit, Aishalak, which I mentioned before. And since then, she's had 13 albums. And all of them sort of play with that kind of vibe that I said, that's like electronic music with Arab sounds. But what's interesting about her, she's one of the first Arab female singers of that generation or ever that doesn't have a big powerhouse voice. You know, she has a very accessible, light, lyrical voice that is easily recognizable, right? So she's kind of different for that. After her, or around the same time, you had Nancy Ajrams and all these other people come. But she was kind of, I would say, one of the first.
It was a golden era for Arabic pop music.
Yes,
this
really
era was
90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, the early 2000s, like all the Arab female pop singers started, and like I just think now when I listen to all these tracks, it's all just nostalgia, and they're all coming back because of TikTok.
Yeah,
right. So all these like people of our generation are going and finding like these old Nasreen Shadi and Elissa, even
Yeah.
Nancy Ajram, and they're reusing them in their TikTok videos, and they're going up the charts again.
Yeah,
That
and
is-
getting international.
I do love that,
recognized.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she also has won multiple awards, but she's the first Arab artist of Lebanese descent to win the World Music Award for Best Selling Middle Eastern Artist. That was in 2005. And I remember distinctly because I was in New Zealand and the Arab community just went crazy. Like, Elissa won an international prize, international
Cute.
award. Yeah,
That
very
is cute.
Wait, so she got one before Fairuz?
Yeah, for this particular thing, yeah. But Nancy Ajram won the first Arab to win, but it wasn't in this category. Her category was Best-Selling Middle Eastern Artist for sales. And she's won that award twice, I think again in 2006 and 2010. So yeah, very cool. And then in recent years, she's continued to evolve her sound. She sings in different dialects. And in 2018, this is really interesting, she revealed that she was struggling with breast cancer through a music video called Kulli li Habbuni. So To Everyone Who Has Loved Me is the name of the song. And she told her fans that she was going through chemo through the music video. And it was one of the first times like breast cancer particularly was spoken about in the public in the Middle East.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember that as like a very significant news moment and kind of writing about that, covering the video, covering the messages that she's shared, a lot of it through music as well, and her very, very honest videos. And she has she's definitely a kind of like real advocate for women's health and just like women's rights as well.
Because she also studied political science. People don't know this about her. She has a degree in political science. So she's very like, she's very aware of things that are happening. She's very open about her struggles and talking. She thinks that's really important. Even in the music video, she had real clips of her doing chemo.
Wow.
And yeah, so it's
Incredibly
quite
honest and
powerful.
very
It's
raw.
really honest and raw. And I think that it's so important people with these kind of platforms to talk about this stuff because we see that more women then go and get tested
Yeah,
and it like
exactly.
has a real knock-on effect in a community, especially one like a Middle Eastern community.
Exactly, where they don't really talk about these things sometimes.
Now they do.
Now they do, yeah.
Now I think, the Middle Eastern communities are much more like open.
Yeah.
She has a Netflix documentary as well, doesn't
Yes,
she? And
she
does that, I've not watched it, but does that touch upon a lot of the same kind of
A lot of this stuff was all like a toxic relationship that she had, as well as like her illness, as well as the music industry. Because in 2019, she actually came out and says that she's retiring from music because the industry is so toxic, and she compared it to a mafia.
Wow.
So yeah, in 2019, so a year after she came out with that, and this is one of the top selling artists saying this. So she had the documentary release, which is available on Netflix to watch now. It's called
It's Okay.
It's Okay. But then last year, I think she launched her own record label called E Records, which through she released her latest album, Enas.
We love to see
Yes.
women in music just taking control
Exactly.
of what they're doing.
It's a bit like Taylor,
It's a bit
isn't
like-
it?
it's full circle moment.
Full circle, it's beautiful.
So even if you don't know much about her, like watch the doco soap or documentary. It's produced by the same people who did Dubai Bling, so it has a good narrative.
They have got some big productions under their belt.
Yeah, they do.
impressive.
It's very impressive. So even if you don't know much about her, you should watch it. It has subtitles. You'll learn something interesting about an icon of the Middle East who's celebrating 25 years now.
I love that. Like we saw like the Miriam Faris documentary. There's like other like Arab pop stars who are entering into that kind of like behind the curtain doco style. But it's always interesting because when we were younger, there was just nothing.
No, there
like
was
that.
nothing. No. And what I love about the documentary, actually, aside from talking about her illnesses and the toxic relationship in her career, she talks about things like how she's always been mocked for her face, like the small surgeries that she's done, for her fashion sense, for being sometimes like a caricature. And she talks a lot about that on there. And it's something that a lot of, I think, young women can relate to in terms of, whether they've gotten work or not, the aggressive nature of being on social media. So it's interesting hearing her perspective on that.
Sorry, I'm just furiously Googling what she looks like because I don't.
You haven't seen
As
her?
if you can't picture
No,
her.
I can, but I was just like, what would you be like picking out on her face?
It's like I think
you know
that
what I
there is
mean?
like the only thing I can think of is that there is obviously just like quite a lot of evidence of surgeries and
Yes,
tweaks.
of work tweaks.
But that's like her prerogative,
her-
as her face, it's her decision.
Not only that, who hasn't? In that industry,
honestly.
who has not? So,
Not even in the industry,
Not
but
even in the industry.
just walking around town. But yeah, no, okay. Yeah, she's what an icon. And something as well, like if you haven't heard of her, get to know her.
get to know her, Elissa.
Elissa.
Mm.
Elissa. SSA.
Oh,
I know. I just thought maybe if you didn't know, you
Actually,
didn't know.
her real
very helpful.
her real name is Elissa with an R at the end, but Elissa is her stage name.
That sounds a lot
Oh.
like Elissab.
Yeah.
They're from the same place.
They are. I have a question for both of you.
Yes.
Obviously, I've kept up with your podcast while I was away.
Mhm.
I watched some of them with my boyfriend's parents. They watch every week.
Oh wow,
Aw.
that's very sweet.
And so it was like you were in the living room with us. But tell me, did I miss anything big?
Well,
Well,
we spoke to a big actor.
you did.
Yes. Taha was here from Haramandi. He's a big deal actor. He's Abu Dhabi born and raised, and he's in the biggest hit show, Haramandi, right now.
Yeah, which is like this Bollywood epic that's on Netflix
Yeah.
at the moment and it's doing really well. Yeah, sorry, we spoke to him
I know.
without
I
you.
had a bit of FOMO. I was like, as if you're talking to celebrities without me.
Well, you were in the presence of a celebrity.
To be
Yeah.
true, to fair for fair, I was busy with Taylor,
Yeah.
You were
it was
busy with
good fun.
Taylor.
which should have been my out of office. Don't contact me. I'm with Taylor.
By the way, I also want to say one thing about the interview, the Haramandi show. If you haven't seen it yet, please do, because one of our producers, Mahmoud, had not seen the show, hadn't heard of it. Then after the interview with the guy, binged it over Eid, and was like, that was an epic show. He was amazing in it. So if you're still a bit iffy about it, definitely go watch it.
Yeah, always. I'm such an advocate for Bollywood.
By the way,
anyway.
Mahmoud, our Emmy award-winning producer.
Oh yeah,
let me
he
just
loves
say.
it. Do you not know that?
No.
Oh, what? How do you not know that?
You
It's
don't
all
know?
he talks about.
I tell everyone, he's like, bro, stop. I'm like, everyone, I told him if I want an Emmy,
I'm getting conflicting information here. It's all he talks about.
Yeah.
He's telling me
Oh,
to
is
stop.
it?
He's being coy.
I mean,
Oh.
I think he's trying to be coy to you. Like, oh no, it's nothing. But I paid for the award to come be shipped over from America.
we should bring him in here one time because
I mean,
learning
you would.
behind the, learning about how you get it, it's really
If I
interesting.
had an Emmy, that would be DHL straight her.
If I had an Emmy, my name would be Maan Emmy. Like, I would make it my name, you know? So.
I would name all future children Emmy.
It's quite a good name.
It is
Emmy.
a nice name.
I
That's
actually
cute.
know a kid called Emmy.
Well,
Oh, you do?
Yeah, there-
Short
yeah,
for
yeah.
Emma?
No, she's
Just
Emma.
Emmy.
No, just Emmy.
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 like the Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Emmy.
Well, what a beautiful note.
Yeah, this is a lovely note to end it on. I hope Mahmoud actually listens.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We will find
He's
out.
the reason why we're only audio only today. But anyway, here we go.
You get to see our beautiful faces next week.
And we'll wear the
Inshallah.
exact same outfits because everyone
Yes.
genuinely looks great
We're
today.
synchronized. Yeah, I
Yeah.
will definitely wear this next
I'm
week.
gutted no one's seen this amazing blouse.
Listen, we will keep them on suspense. We won't tell them what we're actually wearing.
Yeah.
Just tune in next week to see.
That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening.
And if you like this episode, please follow and subscribe on your favourite podcasting app.
And don't forget to tell your friends and network about it.
Bye.
See ya.